With Congress so narrowly divided, a case over South Carolina's election maps argued before the U.S. Supreme Court earlier this month could have a significant impact on the balance of power. Republicans are accused of illegally bleaching a voting district of 30,000 black voters. But was it purely politics, fair and square? Our Devin Dwyer traveled to South Carolina for a closer look at the dispute and what's at stake for a historic community and the country.
The shores of Port Royal Sound on Hilton Head Island in South Carolina.
If you don't have the people, you don't have the culture.
A symbol of freedom and a legacy under threat.
We can trace our history back to West Africa.
Taiwan Scott is an island native and member of the Gullah people.
This is where freedom began. I mean, they knew that once they got here, they were safe. And we should still feel that this is our safe haven.
It was here during the Civil War that Taiwan's ancestors won the right to govern themselves, and with help from the Union Army, created Mitchellville, the first freedmen's town anywhere in America.
You and other members of the community have been fighting to protect this and so much else about that culture in this area.
And sadly, we continue to do that.
And how much of the struggle is our politics today?
I believe it's all politics.
Taiwan says the spirit of Mitchellville, of Gullah having a voice in decisions affecting their community, is in danger of being erased by redistricting, the practice of redrawing election maps every 10 years.
So this area here, they used to have a nightclub right here. This is where the blacks came to hang out at.
And now it's a resort.
Now it's a resort, the Marriott.
Fewer black residents in the district mean fewer black voters to influence local politicians.
We need to be able to have somebody who can speak up and speak out against what's happening to us.
For the few of you that are left.
That's left. Yeah.
Good. Yes.
Decades of development and gentrification on the island have nearly obliterated native black neighborhoods and businesses.
The goal is to have something like this mimicked throughout our communities.
You gonna have some Gullah food in one of these trucks?
That's the goal.
On Hilton Head's south end, sacred Gullah land is now home to luxury homes, hotels, and golf clubs.
So you know a lot of these folks.
Yes, this is my family. Taiwan's
family is buried here, just off the 18th hole.
Uncle Louis, Uncle Jesse, that's Uncle Ned. This is my culture, this is my heritage. Big corporations, they're just pushing our culture and pushing our heritage to the side.
Taiwan says the state's new election map is making things worse.
The way the maps are drawn, it's taking our opportunity to elect a representative away from us. And I think it's deliberate of how it was drawn.
State Republicans redrew congressional maps after the 2020 census to account for population shifts and to consolidate power. They zeroed in on the first congressional district, which stretches from Hilton Head Island up the coast to Charleston. Political scientist DeBose Kapeluk says the aim was to make sure Republicans win.
We've had a lot of people moving into the district, young cosmopolitan people living in urban areas, and I think that they were more reliably Democratic voters. And so in order to create a district that's more Republican, you're really going to have a whiter district.
The new district boundaries removed 30,000 black voters in the Charleston area to the nearby 6th congressional district, home to the state's only Democrat in Congress, James Clyburn. Party leaders say the line drawing is pure politics.
Charleston is a swing county. It is a red county, but it still has some blue tendencies every now and then.
And of the allegations that are being made that Republicans are moving black voters out of the 1st district?
I've never heard anything like that.
There's no way you can say it wasn't racial.
Brenda Murphy, president of the South Carolina NAACP, says the outcome has diluted the black vote.
Race and politics are highly correlated here in South Carolina. What makes you so confident that it was race and not politics that went into drawing those lines?
Because if you look who's living in what neighborhoods and how it's carved out, it's black people.
Lincolnville, South Carolina, 20 miles northwest of Charleston, is considered a prime example. It's a town founded by freed slaves after the Civil War. Its popular park and playing fields and the surrounding historically black neighborhoods were for years a contiguous part of the 1st Congressional District. But now, only the park remains, with the black families living around it carved out.
We have people that are living in this community that have similar needs as those in Congressional District 1.
But you're saying there's a lost opportunity there for these families who've lived there their whole lives and now have a diminished capacity to choose someone that they want.
Exactly.
Last year, the NAACP and Taiwan Scott sued state Republicans for violating the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. After an 8-day trial, a 3-judge panel ruled that Republican map drawers had illegally sorted voters based predominantly on race.
Federal District Court unanimously said that state Republicans bleached your district of black voters.
I hope that's not the case. That would be very disappointing, but I don't believe that's the case.
Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who represents the 1st District, benefited from the more Republican-friendly map in the last election.
They got the district a point and a half better than it was in 2020. As a member of Congress, I don't get a say on what maps are supposed to look like, but I do know you cannot legally draw lines based on race. I don't want anyone to feel in South Carolina that their voices are silent.
And you take state Republicans at their word that they used politics and not race in how they drew this.
I do. I do wholeheartedly believe that. But the Supreme Court at the end of the day will be the ultimate arbiter on what the district looks like next year.
The outcome in the case could affect the battle for control of a narrowly divided Congress. But for Taiwan Scott,
when it starts affecting a certain group of people,
the case is about so much more.
it's about race.
What does justice look like in this case for you?
Justice is an even playing field. One person, one vote. We need to focus on the impact on what's happening to this significant community.
How confident are you that this Supreme Court will deliver that?
I'm very confident. I am. Enough is enough.
We'll be watching to see how it all plays out. Our thanks to Devin Dwyer for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.